going on, Aquarius? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for the week of June 19th to the 25th, 2023. So in this reading, Aquarius, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides, and so much more regarding June 19th to the 25th, 2023. Now, before we begin this reading, as always, Aquarius, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, Aquarius, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. But without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy now for you, and we'll see what wants to come through for the 19th to the 25th of June, 2023, Aquarius. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides for overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Aquarius. Yep, yeah. I love it. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here for you, Aquarius. Okay, so before we get into the tarot, let's start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. What frequency do you need more of? What frequency do you need to really dive into here for this upcoming week? And the first one you have here is scars. So this is the Dragon of Scars. And, a scar is something that has left a mark on you, okay? Or has left a mark on your psyche, your emotional. There's something about emotional scars coming up for you. So no matter how you cut it, no matter what you have going on here, Aquarius, the first thing is that don't be afraid to do shadow work, all right? So this is definitely a week that you need to look at how your own wounding is somehow holding you back from moving forward. And Spirit is putting on my head or in my heart to tell you something about a fixed thing. Many of you have come to some sort of conclusion about your own trauma, about how you need to integrate it, or about how a certain scar is either helping you or hurting you. I'm getting it's different things for different Aquariuses, but there's something about you need to change the way that you're looking at a scar. Because for some of you, you could even be over-identified with a scar that it's time for you to integrate, and for some of you, let go of. Now, for others of you, there's some sort of scar, especially when it comes to love. There's definitely a lot about love going on here, Aquarius, but there's something here about, it sounds cliche, but for the 19th to the 25th, like, many of you do not realize how much you're being, I'm just getting the word paralyzed by a past wound. So it's going to come up for you, okay, for you to look at. Now you also have shadows, all right, shadows. So you have scars and shadows. So this week it looks like this is going to be a week of shadow work for you, right? Your shadow is something, usually it represents something that you can't see, or it's like the confronting your own dark side or the unconscious part of yourself, or something that you'd rather not look at. And for a lot of you, it has to do with a scar and a shadow. Okay, now remember, what I'm being advised to tell you is that the more that you deny, repress, and disown your shadow, the more you try to shove it into a closet, the more it will come out in a more demonstrative way eventually, right? Like conflict delayed is conflict multiplied. A lot of you, the problem is you're aware of this shadow, but you're not fully aware of the detrimental effect on you. And so something will trigger. A lot of you are going to be triggered, right? This is some sort of thing about a past wounding. Someone comes into your life this week, or something happens that triggers your shadow. And a lot of you, what I'm getting from Spirit is a lot of you are just going to be like, no, this is how I am. This is how I deal with that. We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with that. Now, that's not for all of you. But what I'm getting to tell you is a lot of you are going to have a mini midlife crisis. So when we look at unawakened people, and this is going to apply to your week, so listen to me. There's something about when we see unawakened people, what happens? They usually have like one midlife crisis at like 40, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, Jimmy went down to the dance floor and he danced his pants off, or it's some sort of ridiculous midlife crisis moment, right? But the awakened individual has like a midlife crisis every 6 months. I've been having a midlife crisis since I was like 17 for the last like 10 years. Picture like a midlife crisis every 6 months, and while that's not fun, and you might look around at everyone this week and be like, oh my God, why is everyone have it easier than me? Why is everyone doing this? Because they're suppressing their shadow, and you're going to be going into it and actually confronting the things that people just suppress. So there could be, what I'm getting is people around you thinking that you're over emotional or you're over inhibited, but it's because there's something about your shadow or your scar that you're going to be looking at that most people don't look at. That most people, they can get away with putting it off until the midlife crisis moment. You're basically being presented with the opportunity to dive fully into a midlife crisis, having to do with your shadow and your scar. What else does it have to do with? Oh, the water chalice. The last frequency you need more of is the water chalice. This is very similar to the Ace of Cups. So this wants you to work with water. For some of you, there's going to be something about taking an Epsom salt bath would be very good for you. Swimming in the ocean, swimming in a river. There's something about connecting with nature, taking a hot shower, taking a cold shower, something about that. Now, for others of you, and for a lot of you, this definitely has to do with emotions, right? What frequency do you need more of? This is like the Ace of Cups here, Aquarius. And because you have scars, shadows, and the Ace of Cups, a lot of you here, there's someone who's very interested in you, but you've already written them off, is what I'm picking up on, honestly. Or for some of you, for a small percentage of you, there's going to be someone who comes back, someone that you've had past dealings with that comes back and makes a love offer to you. For some of you, there's something about a love offer that actually has a lot of potential to heal both you and this person. But what I'm getting is about from the 19th to the 25th, a lot of you are just going to be like, no, I'm not ready for that. And maybe you're not. I'm not like making fun of you for that. But there's something about, what do you need more of? Scars, shadow, and water chalice. So some way healing your, but what I'm telling you, what I'm intuitively getting is there's an opportunity to heal your scars and your shadows. For most of you, not in the traditional shadow work way of sitting in a dark room and doing past life regression or childhood trauma work or whatever. There's something about you actually working with someone in love and moving through it in that way. Now, for others of you, this is definitely going to be more so something you're doing in isolation. And for others of you, this actually has to do with your own life purpose as well. This has to do with shadow and scar and water chalice, viewing the gift of your shadow. Okay, and sharing that with the collective or working with people. For some of you, working with people who have a lot of scars, a lot of shadows, and you're going to heal them. If you've been on the path, if you've been doing the healing work, there's something about you working with disenfranchised people or people who are not in the same position as you. But for a lot of you, it goes deep. So with that being said, let's just get into the tarot. When it comes to your opportunity here, Aquarius, for this week, you have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is your opportunity. Is something needs to come to an end here. Something needs to come to an end that feels very heavy. For a lot of you, what I am getting in a love situation is a lot of you are so closed off to love. It sounds cliche. What I'm picking up from this is a lot of you don't realize how much your own scar and your own shadow is holding you back from living your best life. And for a lot of you, your best life has to do with interacting and manifesting a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, or whatever it is, right? But I'm telling you, for a lot of you, the way in which you close yourself off from others, there's an opportunity for that to come to an end through some sort of interaction with someone. There's something about you writing someone off from the beginning, though. There's someone who wants to have a summer romance with you. For a lot of you, this is preordained as well. What I'm picking up on, Aquarius, is the universe is sending you a soulmate. A soulmate. Many of you are going to perceive this soulmate as karmic, or many of you are going to perceive this soulmate as this person just wants to get in my pants, or this person just wants this, or this person just wants that. This is for the people dealing with love. And you're really shooting yourself in the foot, and you're shooting them, and you're like, I don't want to deal with it. And then you're just stuck. Whereas there's something about really knowing the shadow is there. Okay, I don't want to interact, but then doing it anyway. There's something about that. Now, your challenge is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords here, typically has to do with a very destructive situation. Okay, so for some of you, there's some sort of ending in your opportunity, and your challenge is to change, right? The number 10 has to do with endings, completion of a cycle, and the number 5 has to do with change. So for a lot of you, there's a very big challenge to change something, what I'm getting, that should have already come to an end. Now, for a lot of you, this actually has to do with you tapping into your own anger. The Five of Swords can represent anger. It can represent, some of the worst manifestations of the mind, right? But I'll tell you, if you want to find your purpose, look at your anger. Because for a lot of you, this could be all simultaneous, but for a lot of you, this has to do with you denying the hero's journey. Like, if I were to ask you honestly, Aquarius, okay, what pisses you off about the world? You can school me, you can give me a whole PowerPoint about how the collective is messed up and what you would do differently about it. The problem I sense is a lot of you are still not doing it. Or a lot of you are just talking the talk and you're not really walking the walk. You can say what you want about me. You can say that this guy has such a clear shadow, that a lot of you can see. Most of you like it. It's more the other signs that don't like it. But what pisses me off about the world, I've really done something about it. And there's something about you. This is especially for those of you, there's something about you quitting a job or the 10 of Wands in your opportunity. This is something about, why you're struggling. Do you know why it's not working out for you? It's because you're letting shadows and you're letting scars hold you back from tapping into your anger. But your anger is something that's meant to transform the collective, is what I'm picking up on here. So for a lot of you, you're worried about fear of failure, what these people are going to, something. It's not even you care what other people think. It's what you think of it. I'm not qualified. Who am I to say this? Or, there's something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so remember, because when people say, oh, my life purpose is to help disenfranchised, people, it's tap into the absolute pain point of that. I just had to say that for some of you. Now to get back on track to the reading, we're going to clarify that in a minute. But your overall general energy is the Magician, the Four of Cups, and also the Justice card here for this week. So there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for emotional healing here. The Magician has to do with potential spiritual energy, your own manifestations. The Four of Cups has to do with, kind of denying, apathy or saying, no, I don't want to do that. I'm good. I don't need that. And the Justice card is here as well. For a lot of you, there's going to be a lover. There's going to be a love situation. For a lot of you, this is going to be dating. It's going to be a developmental phase. Someone reaches out to you. You reach out to someone. For most of you, it's someone pursuing you. That once again, the Four of Cups, this is showing up as there's almost the universe is sending you an opportunity to heal your scar, to integrate your shadow. And a lot of you are just going to be no. And basically, you may miss an opportunity. I'm not even getting that this is, make or break. It's not anything crazy this week, but there's an opportunity for you to move forward, heal your shadow, and have some sort of emotional, genuine connection. Most of you are going to write someone off before you can even get their medicine. Versus, for some of you as well, you have shadow and you have scars. For some of you here, you're so fixed on how something went down between you and someone in the past. For a lot of you, what I'm picking up on is there's an opportunity to really like, your challenge is you could even be blinded by your anger, right? Because on the one hand, I'm talking about how anger is this God-sent thing. We all know deep down though, anger is a cover emotion for pain and sadness, you know? And so there could be something here about a lot of you have been hurt in love and you're going to deny someone, and your challenge is some of you are going to be very offended by I'm telling you, some of you Aquariuses will be very offended by an advance of a soulmate. I'm telling you, because it's from your past pain. You're not viewing it clearly. A lot of you, because you're so emotionally hurt, someone's going to make an advance on you and you're going to be like, excuse me? Did you just do that? Excuse me? But that's not authentic. The authentic thing would be to say, this really is triggering me from my past, or I feel really scared. I feel really sad. Anger is a cover emotion. If it's your life purpose, then tap into the anger and kill the matrix for me. If it's anger in a relational thing, then it's different. I'm just telling you what it is. And then so when it comes to, but there's an opportunity for you to really fix something. You know how like Aquarius is like even good at like surgeons. There's something about like the universe, like there's an opportunity to fix something, like move energy, emotional. There's also, I don't know why I didn't get this before, right? The Ace of Cups is here, the chalice, the water chalice. There's something about the physical equivalent to energetic problems, like crying. Some of you, there's something about you having a hard time crying. You're having a hard time tapping into your emotions. And there's something here about this week, Aquarius, where don't be afraid to use water to transform. So cry. Try to induce a crying session. Or there's something about sauna, Epsom salt bath, crying, releasing water. Some of you need to release water from your body. Some of you, I'm getting, you really need to do, and it would almost advance you more than you even know. You need to go to one of those places, what do they call it? A colonoscopy. The thing where you put the water up your butt and you, a colon cleanse where they put water, and then it all comes out. Some of you have a clogged like thing, but it's your emotions. I don't know. Take it or leave it. Right now, in what you don't see coming, you have the Page of Pentacles, you have the Fool, and you have the Three of Swords here. All right, so for some reason, I'm getting there's an opportunity for you to do the dirty work. Whether this is your career or this is love, Aquarius, the Page of Pentacles has to do with the first step in the journey. It's like you have Ace of Pentacles, now do the work with the Page of Pentacles. And you have the Fool, so there is a new beginning in what you don't see coming. There's something about you working on something. Whether this is you bringing something, justice to the collective, or justice into your own emotional life, there's a new opening here, but once again, it has to do with deep, deep pain. So for a lot of you, there's meant to be love. You're meant to be cuddling with a soulmate, but you're just like viewing it from this like wounded place that is going to keep you stuck. Others of you, this has to do with your purpose, and really, once again, instead of talking the talk, and instead of thinking the think, it's walking the walk, Aquarius. There's something about like who are you afraid of? Like authority. There's something about you afraid of authority, or you're not afraid of authority, but a lot of you have realized you're meant to challenge authority, but you don't. And then you like self-destruct, or there's something about like you know what needs to be brought justice to, but you're afraid to put your, it's called skin in the game, Aquarius. I'm going to be honest, like I'm even getting 50%. 50% of you, your skin is totally in the game. You're way more than me. Like salute to all the real Aquarians out there. But for 50% of the Aquarians watching this, you have these great ideas. You have this like almost like martyr, like savior complex that you don't do anything with because of, and I'm not even saying it like in a bad way. I'm saying it's because of your scar and it's because of your shadow that you're not doing something that the collective needs for you to bring justice and something and standing up to authority. But you're not really walking the walk. There's no skin in the game. Right. I got some skin in the game. I wake up and I'm worried. Never mind. Now, when it comes to when it comes to your advice from your spirit guides for this week, you have the Queen of Wands, you have the Five of Wands, and you also have the Queen of Swords. So this is all masculine energy. There's something about getting masculine, taking action here. This is your advice from spirit, right? The Swords is to do with air. That's masculine energy, even though it's Queen. So a lot of you, this is about feminine empowerment. Now, you have the Five of Wands here. The Five of Wands is typically seen as like getting ready for victory. It's like preparing for battle, so to speak. For a lot of you, that's what it's coming through as. You know, sometimes the Five of Wands comes through as competition when it comes to love, jealousy issues, competition in your career. But what I'm getting from this is there's some sort of preparatory, like the preparation is more important than the goal, you know? And there's something about like, if you can do the inner training, there's something about masculine training though. There may be something about needing to induce a emotional purge. That's okay. So a lot of you, this is breath work, you know, like fire breath. Like, so what is, you know, Queen of Swords, air. Queen of Wands, fire. Fire breath that then induces a emotional release here is something that would be very valuable for you. But if this has to do with your collective, if this has to do with the collective, then there's something about you preparing for like your, like the boss, like almost like a lot of you as an Aquarian, you've basically passed through all these levels just based on your own, like your own potential, right? But like what got you here is not going to get you there. And there's something that you're training yourself, preparing. And because there's scars and there's shadow, and then you have the Queen of Wands and you have the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, there's something about like, active shadow work. So this could be punching a pillow. There's something you need to get out. I'm telling you, there's something you need to get out of you. It doesn't belong in you. That's why this is your opportunity as a release, Aquarius. The Ten of Wands has to do with a release, right? Like you need to, the Ten of Wands is something feels heavy. There's a burden you're carrying. And if something feels heavy, if something feels like a burden, then it does not belong to you. Now, the download that I'm getting is if the world feels heavy, if the world feels like there's all these structures in society which are worse than Gotham City, which we all know they are, the world around us is crazy right now, crazier than you know, then if that feels heavy, then there is a message coming through for those of you more on the higher end or more already done a lot of work on yourself. And no matter who you are, this goes for all of you, but I'm just telling you, some of you will be able to make use of it more than others. There's something about you're not enlightened. Truly, you're not enlightened until everyone else is enlightened. Like if you think you're some enlightened person and you're like, I've done my mission. All I have to do is be a space holder. I'm enlightened because I work on my frequency. But then you walk down the street in New York City and you see like 5 people begging on the road. You're not enlightened because the all are the one are the all. We are all connected. We are all the same being. Do you realize you think that you're not me and I think that I'm not you. I am you and you are me. And I literally mean that like down to the core. Obviously, this dimension is crazy, so it's an illusion. There's no coffee in here, by the way. It's red juice. Okay. Let's do a little bit of clarification. Now, let's clarify why the Ten of Wands is here in your opportunity. Sorry. Well, a lot of you are, there's some sort of, in your opportunity, the Ten of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Wands, and also the Eight of Cups here. So there's something you gotta let go of that really is bothering you here. Okay, and a lot of you, it's such a conundrum that you don't even know what it is. It's about that fixed mentality. I'm telling you, there's something about your scar, your shadow. For a lot of you here, there's something about walking away from rejecting love. You see how the Ace of Cups is in reverse, but then the Eight of Cups is walking away from that? Like, there's something about you needing to work through your shadow, not sitting alone in an isolated room doing regressions or like psychological or vibrational therapy or timeline healing. No, there's something about you. It's you need to be bold. There's something about a risk that you need to take. Once again, masculine. The advice is the Queen of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Queen of Swords here. That's all masculine, that's all training, that's mental, and that's passion. And there's an opportunity here for you to go with it. Some of you, it's just like you're not even, you ever say something to someone and like it's the thing that they need to hear, but it just goes over their head. You could be like, yeah, the reason why you wear black all the time is because it's like your subconscious way of like making people not like want to mess with you, and they're just like, no, I just like it. No, it's just my favorite color. No. And you're like, no, it's from something else. No. And they're like, no. And that's what you're doing though. You're doing it. Don't you understand? I literally told myself I'm not going to get crazy in the readings. I told myself I am not going to flip out in these readings today. But that's all right. Why is the Five of Swords? Why is the Justice card in your overall general energy? Why is the Justice card here in your? The Justice card is clarified by the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is your challenge, and also the Six of Pentacles. For a lot of you, this is definitely, and we're changing flavors here. This is you tapping into your anger. What pisses you off about the world? Go out and fix it. It's your gift. Your anger is your gift. Especially for those of you, this is about your soul mission or changing your career or working with the collective, helping disenfranchised. Once again, you're not enlightened until everyone else is. This is something about you bringing justice. You are spiritually protected to do that. But a lot of you here are so fixed. You're like, I'm not meant to be in the spotlight, or I'm not meant to work with people. I'm just meant to do this. There's something I'm telling you, for those of you working with career or something, there's something you're telling yourself, no, this is how it is. This is my trauma. This is a way to deal with my trauma, but it's like over here, And a lot of you are just like, oh my God, I don't know what this is. But then there's also this love thing, and a lot of you could be cuddling and having smoothies with a soulmate, but a lot of you are so fixed. Why is the Four of Cups here? Why is the Four of Cups here? Well, Four of Cups clarified by the Four of Cups. A lot of you, you're not going to take this opportunity. At least, now, the reason why we do tarot is so that we can see a timeline and we can change it if we don't like it. What I'm telling you is there's an opportunity in love coming in for you. Most of you are going to push this person away, not even consider it. That's the timeline right now, but you could be doing smoothies with a soulmate that's very deeply healing, but a lot of you won't. So with that being said, you can do... The camera died, but listen, you can do what you want with this, Aquarius. I honestly love you, and I'll talk to you next time.